Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into the world of UI and UX design. It's that invisible magic that makes you either love or, well, totally hate an app. We're going to break down what it is, how it works, and why getting it right is so incredibly important.
So let's start with a feeling I think we all know a little too well. You're trying to do something simple, maybe book a flight or order some food, and the app is just impossible. It's confusing, it's slow, it's broken, and you just give up and close it. We've all been there, right? That feeling of pure frustration? Yeah, that's a direct result of bad design.
And look, it is not just you. The stakes here are unbelievably high. A staggering 88% of online consumers are less likely to return to a site after a bad experience. Think about that. That is a massive, massive number. And it proves that good design isn't just a nice-to-have, it's an absolute business necessity.
So who are the heroes that save us from these digital nightmares? Well, let me introduce you to user experience, or UX, and user interface, or UI. These are the two key disciplines that work together to make sure our digital lives are smooth, intuitive, and maybe even a little bit delightful.
Okay, first up is user experience, UX for short. Now, this isn't just about what an app looks like. It's all about how it feels to use it. Think of it as the entire journey from start to finish. Does it solve your problem? Is the flow logical? Does it make sense? That's the heart of UX, making the whole interaction effortless and satisfying.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The guy who literally coined the term, Don Norman, said it best. UX is about every single aspect of a person's interaction with a company. It's the whole shebang, from the first time you hear about a product to the moment you might need customer support. It's the big picture.
All right, so if UX is the overall journey, what's user interface, or UI? Well, UI is the vehicle you're taking on that journey. It's all the visual stuff you actually see, touch, and interact with. The buttons you tap, the text you read, the colors, the images, all of it. It's the concrete, tangible part of the design. And this is the most important takeaway. UX and UI have to work hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. See, UX is focused on the overall journey, making sure it's useful. UI is focused on the look and feel, making sure it's clear and beautiful. A gorgeous app that's impossible to navigate? That's bad UX. A super functional app that looks terrible? That's bad UI. You absolutely need both to create a great product. So, how do designers actually build these amazing experiences? It's definitely not just random guesswork or a sudden stroke of genius. There's a structured, human-centered process for it, and it's called design thinking. It's a clear roadmap for building better products. And this right here is what that roadmap looks like. This 5-step process, made famous by the Stanford D School, is all about making sure that the solutions we build are deeply connected to the needs of the actual people who are going to use them. The process is really a loop that never stops. You start with empathize, where you actually get to know your users. Then you define their real problem. After that, you ideate, which is just brainstorming tons of potential solutions. You build a quick and dirty prototype of the best idea, and finally, you test it with real people to see what works. And then, you do it all over again, making it better each time. Let's zero in on that first step, empathize, because it's probably the most important. A really useful tool for this is the PACT framework. Designers ask, who are the people we're designing for? What activities are they trying to do? What's the context? Where are they when they're doing it? And what technologies are they using? This framework stops designers from just building what they think is cool and forces them to see the world through their users' eyes. Okay, so you've gone through the whole process, you have a shiny new prototype. But how do you know if it's actually any good? You can't just rely on a gut feeling. A design has to be tested against proven, established principles of what makes something usable. And that's where another crucial tool comes into play. If design thinking is the process for making the thing, then Nielsen's usability heuristics are the quality check to see if the thing you made is actually usable. It's basically a designer's checklist to use during that test phase we just talked about. The amazing thing about these rules is that when they're followed, you barely even notice them. Things just work. Take consistency. You expect the save icon to look the same no matter where you are in an app. Or error prevention. That little pop-up that says, "Are you sure?" before you delete something important? That's a heuristic at work. And my personal favorite, helping users recover from errors. We've all been saved by Gmail's undo send button, right? That builds serious trust. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but now let's talk about the big one, the why. What is the real-world, bottom-line impact of getting all this right? What's the actual payoff for all this empathy and testing and designing?
Brace yourself for this number. For every single dollar a company invests in user experience, the return on that investment can be as high as $100. No, that's not a typo. That is a 9,900% ROI. This one stat just screams it from the rooftops. Good design isn't an expense, it's one of the best investments a business can possibly make.
Of course, the world of design never, ever stands still. It's always evolving to meet our changing expectations. Right now, we're seeing some really cool trends. Things like tiny micro-interactions that make an app feel alive, the huge popularity of dark mode to reduce eye strain, and a really important push towards what's called ethical design, designs that actually respect your time and your attention.
So I want to leave you with a little challenge. Sometime today, open up your absolute favorite app, the one you use all the time. But this time, look at it with new eyes. Now that you know a little about UI and UX, what exactly makes it so great? Is it the clean look, the logical flow, the way it seems to just know what you want to do next? You now have the tools to see all the invisible work that went into making it feel so effortless.
At the end of the day, great design really isn't magic. It's a thoughtful, deliberate, and empathetic process that always puts the user right at the center of the universe. It's the difference between total frustration and pure delight. Hey, thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found it useful, do me a favor and hit like, share it with a friend, and be sure to subscribe to Tech Talk 101 for more deep dives just like this one.